Hi there guys, Sheldon from Fine and Archery Supplies here, back with another one of our bow reviews. Today we're going to talk about the Win-EX. Now this is probably the bottom of, well this actually is the bottom of the Win&Win range, but it's a lovely riser. It's really nice. It's got a much nicer hand grip than the Forged. It's probably the start of the new hand grips where they are a little bit fatter. It does allow for nice alignment of your thumb, as you can see there. When you put your hand in, the thumb goes nice and straight. I can barely wrap my fingers halfway around, so that's quite good considering we should be tucking them in anyway. It's reasonably heavy. It is up around that 1200 gram sort of mark. It is an aluminium riser, not a carbon based riser, but it's very well finished. This is almost flawless in its paint. There's a little blemish here on the shelf. You probably won't pick that up on the camera, just there. But other than that, there's really not that much wrong with it. It has a lovely pocket system, almost identical to the Forged. As you can see there, you've got your tiller bolt and your side adjustment there with lovely big grub screws on the side. So that ticks all our boxes in the pocket system there. I would say though, it would open itself up to a little bit of scratching in that pocket just there. But look, when you own these sorts of bows, you have to accept the fact that, you know, putting limbs in and out, you're going to scratch it, and that's just going to be the way it is. So, you know, you're never going to get away with it without it being chipped or scratched or whatever. So you just need to accept that. It does allow for your top weight, bottom weight, and stabilization. There's no room for extra weight to be added to this riser, so it's pretty much a bog standard riser. It does have the extension for your clicker plate. You can obviously tell when you take this one out of the box that Win&Win don't consider it to be as important as this Inno CXT or Inno Max. It really just comes in its own sleeve, and that's about it. There's no extra chamois or anything like that with it. So this really, as far as Win&Win is concerned, you can get the feeling from this that it's at their lower end. They do have a lovely paint scale on these. This one, as you can see, is the silver to red version. I know a few people who personally shoot these, and they shoot incredibly well with them. On our bow packages that we offer, we actually make this our middle option, so it actually sits quite lovely in your hand, but it's an awfully flat riser. There's not a lot of curve to this riser. It's very straight up and down, which actually makes a little bit of sense, and the limb pockets actually give you the tilt. But as you can see, it's almost a straight line here, and then it kicks back to give you the angle for the limb. So it would actually probably give you a little bit more kick when you think about it, because your limb is actually not on such an arc, but it probably would allow for a lot more stacking in the limb. Generally, these sorts of profiles, your limb angle starts stacking that little bit quicker. For those people who don't know what stacking is when the limb gets to a point where it's at its maximum sort of peak. So you sort of go soft, 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 heavy, 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 and then it gets, and then it sort of keeps going from there. But we talk about that a lot. Different lengths will interfere and change that dynamic for some people. If you're in 68 inch, for example, and you're finding you're getting to about, 3 inches, 4 inches from your face, and it starts to get very heavy and starts loading in the bow, then that's a good chance that you've probably got limbs that are too short for you. So investing in that next level, which would be 70 inch, would be a great option for you. The Win-EX only comes in a 25 inch riser. It's not available in a 27 inch riser. The only ones in the Win&Win range that do have the other options is the Inno CXT, which is 25, 26 and 27, and the Inno Max, which is 25 and 27. So, this only comes in 25, but look, it's a very good middle of the range bow. It's not high end, but you would be looking at a 4 to 5 year investment on this bow. No doubt about that. That's definitely a longer investment in this bow than most. And you will shoot your PBs in this. This will give you some very, very good results. It's the kind of bow that if you didn't want to spend the money and go high end, this is something that you would consider. It's probably its closest relative competitor here would be the Samick Athlete. It'd be the closest to its rival. There really isn't a lot near this range. There's only 3 actually that you would have side by side here, which would be the Cartel Midas riser, the Summit Athlete, and the Win-X, Win&Win Win-EX. They would be the three that you would be comparing against each other. This would make a very excellent bare bow setup for bare bow shooters because it's quite heavy, and that would denote that it would be quite a thuddy riser. So you should get a lot of impact out of those limbs. It should feel very smooth and very easy to shoot. So, you know, if you're looking for a bare bow and you don't want to quite go too high end in the market, this would be a riser that you would consider. Now, like I've said before and a couple of others, we get a lot of emails about sending our bows overseas. Yes, we do. We comfortably sell to the overseas market. Just be aware that it is a flat $50 fee which we put on for shipping, and that's $50 AU, not US. And it goes up from there depending on the weight of the item. In most cases, a riser like this to somewhere like the United States or to the United Kingdom would be around $50 to $60 to send to you. But in most cases, we do wear a little bit of those freight costs to help you out, and we can tweak the pricing a little bit for our overseas customers to make the incentive a little bit better for you. But look, if you have any questions, please respond to this YouTube. I do get quite a lot of comments, and I try and reply to every single one of them on this channel. Look, I do these bow reviews because I like to see people buy things that they actually are comfortable with and wanting to buy. I know one of the biggest things for a lot of people is accessing information on which bow do I buy, which bow do I not buy. So that's the reason we do these videos. Eventually we will move forward into compound bows. I just really want to get through the recurve range first. The other thing we're going to start introducing into our videos are some tutorials on technique and balance and stuff like that, how to work out your stabilization. So you will see this channel grow a little bit more into more of a consistent archery channel, basically. But you know, if you have any question, guys, please don't hesitate to contact us or reach us at our website at www.findarcherySupplies.com.au. We always reply to every comment that we get, every contact us form that you send us, and also use our online facility if you're overseas. It's a very cheap way of getting hold of us without having to pick up the phone. In most cases, we're always here and available. If we do miss your call online, we're very sorry, but we will. You definitely will be able to get a response out of us via the live chat function there. But for now, this is the Win-X, and as far as we're concerned, it's a very, very good riser. There really isn't very much wrong with it. You've got to save for the money. It's about a 4.5 out of 5. But for now, guys, happy shooting and keep going.